kept us apart for a little bit, but we are right back in the action now.
That's right. They can't keep us apart for too long as we're back in, and it's for a good cause as well. It does help when you know that you're doing good for the world. And already there's been a lot of good done for the world.
Sure
Donations
has.
coming in left and right and everywhere. So I'm really excited that we're going to keep the show rolling here.
Yeah, you said it's so perfectly. As far as the donations that are becoming, I think we got a 5K donation that came through there from Colombia. I'm pretty sure our goal right now is got to be up to I think 20,000 is what they raised it up to. So $5,000 I think was the original goal, and I thought that was a pretty
Yep.
solid goal switch. I was like, damn, coming in with 5K, if we can do $5,000 for some good, we're putting ourselves in a great spot here. But here we are now, I think almost closing on 10,000, and now I think the new goal is going to be 20K. So make sure you guys are still sending those donations in here, guys. It's all for a great cause. All goes to relief here for COVID-19, something obviously we're all affected by. So that will be what the stream is for if you're just tuning in. But in towards our next matchup, we did just go through group play. Now we're getting ready to jump in towards actual double elimination. And while our first matchup on the day is going to be Yale up against Cornell. And well, just taking a look at the record switch, we have 2-0 right now for Yale, and we have currently 1-1 for Cornell. We're going to take a look actually at the brackets. We'll see all these teams line up against each other here in this winners round one.
Yeah, like you said, round robin. It's been had already. There's been a couple games here and there brought to you, of course, by Rebel Fox and Lemons. But now it is going to get into the knockout stage. Quarterfinals coming in right now. Like you said, Yale versus Cornell. And, well, since Yale was organizing this, we did get to speak with some of the staff. And they did say that Yale, although this is really for the benefit. Oh, that's unfortunate. Although this is for the benefit of the cause, at the same time, they're still performing very well here coming in.
I mean, yeah, watching their last game on stream, it looked fantastic. They were off to a great start. I think snowballing with their jungler seemed to be one of the most surprising things to me. They got a really early first blood, just really great read going in towards the mid brush. There wasn't a standard 5-point that came through for Harvard, cost them the first blood, and they were able to snowball that out of control. Also, mind you, there was the Teemo that actually picked up the first blood last game there, Switch. And the Teemo in the top lane is something we do not see. And well, if we're getting spicy picks like that for the last game, I am just so excited to see what we're going to get here for the remaining of the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Curveballs. You certainly do like to enjoy them, but at the same time, it's a bit of healthy rivalry as well as we get right into it. Yale versus Cornell here, quarterfinals matchup, and of course, you want to see the organizers here, Yale, of course, make it deep through these playoffs, but more just about seeing some good old fashioned League of Legends. If you're joining us, hang out with us, supporting the cause if you're a viewer. So thank you for tuning in. And we're going to start off with the band's visions as the Twisted Fate, the Evelyn, the Set, and the Ornn all coming through. One side makes a lot more sense than the other to me when we talk about meta.
I mean, that's certainly the case for us, right? And I mean, we've seen so much of the Ornn, through almost every single draft. It's pick or banned, and well, of course, it's the best engaged champion that we currently have within the meta, like you're touching on. And well, lots of champions have been taken away that we've actually seen so far on the day. Now coming through with the very last ban here for Cornell to see exactly how they're going to round out their draft, at least for the very first phase. The bans will be a jungle ban targeted over towards, of course, Yale's jungle, who played that Jarvan in that last game, looked very strong, looked fantastic, created a lot of big plays for his team, was the big engager. But this time around, we're going to see first pick priority on towards the affiliates. Also something that may not be so surprising for us here within the League of Legends meta.
Oh yeah, Aphelios, he's the tough one to really shove out of the meta. Right now, he's still performing very well as that backline threat. He does great in the lane phase, does great in mid game, late game as well. You can rely on him. So it's really a jack of all trades. You can go ahead, first pick him, no problems here, and it's going to be traded for the Varus here. I believe in one of the most recent patches that we had, Varus ultimate cooldown actually got nerfed. It's 20 seconds higher at level 6, but aside from that, he's still, once again, another very solid marksman coming into the lineup here, and it might be paired by this Blitzcrank, however.
That would be very exciting. A Blitzcrank coming out for us up against, Yale here, just to kind of throw that curveball in towards the mix. I always love something along those lines, but will be the Karma that's locked in. So you talk about the Varus, of course, already coming in for the 80 carry role. That was also played last game that we did see on stream there from Yale. So it could be a little bit of a takeaway for as far as what you're looking to do up against his Aphelios. And of course, paired with some shielding and some poke, will be able to assist with shutting the Aphelios down in the lane, which is exactly what you want to do. Do not want this player and champion to come online, but still following following track with how the last game did go. The Jarvan is going to be coming right back in towards that jungle role force, followed by the Leona. So lots of engage going to be picked up here from Yale in the first phase.
Yeah, I'm already liking the beginning foundation that Yale has set for themselves. They've got plenty of engage and re-engage with the Jarvan Leona duo. Obviously, the Solar Flare going to be able to engage from a very long distance, and the Jarvan with the Flag and Drag into the Cataclysm does a great job of closing the gap and allowing your team to join in with you. And this is just great setup in general. We're missing the top in the mid lane, but the choice is really you can run a lot of different things into the lineup. So I'm really appreciating what Yale has gone for. On the other hand, here, Cornell, of course, they've gotten themselves the Olaf here. So when we talk about early game 1v1s in the jungle v jungle matchup, I'm thinking the Olaf is going to be, bringing more damage to the party consistently when it comes to skirmishes.
And now we're going to move in towards phase 2 bans, all solo laner bans from here on out, unless we get some kind of crazy picks in towards these solo lanes with the champions that have already been picked up. But that will be a Darius. So far, 2 top lane bans have been following through. I believe we also saw the Aatrox very early on in towards the tournament here, maybe for the first game of the day, I want to say, up against the Fiora. If I am remembering correctly, I do apologize if I'm not. It's been quite a few hours since I have seen that very first game, but I do believe it was played very early on. Again, now picking to see exactly if they want to pinch this top lane a little bit more, they could opt in for it and then actually save that very first pick that they will get going in towards phase 2, but they will instead opt for the Lux ban here and look to target up the mid lane.
Just making sure that they're getting some of those bans over to the counter picks right now, over to the pocket picks rather, as both of these teams, they certainly do have their high elo players mixed in here and there. The last ban going to be coming through is the Zillion, and off with that, now we get right into what the final pieces of the composition are going to come out here for both teams here. As you can see, Cornell waiting to land their first one. Right now, because they have so much mobility, I would actually love another beefy melee tank in the top lane to just make sure that you're buying a ton of time for the Varus and Karma to deal a lot of damage. You're going to be running alongside the Olaf here. It's going to be the Azir, as a matter of fact, to bring some of that damage extra. And while we're just waiting on that top lane from Cornell, here's the response that's going to be coming out from Yale.
And we've seen the Azir rise in popularity. I almost want to say it was kind of played last night through LCK for as far as like actually first pick priorities and things like this. The champions kind of rose up within the meta for us. And well, if the LeBlanc comes in, this is one of the hard counters. I think one of the most memorable ones I feel like is a Bjergsen outplay on towards, I think it must have been Maple in the mid lane, where he just absolutely just destroyed his ankles and left him for dead in the mid lane. But this LeBlanc champion can do things like that. So clearly a counter pick, and will we expect there to maybe be some pressure around this mid lane here now that you have something you can play for and something that you can also roam with and look for these very easy, successful dives you can pull off.
Yeah, a lot of different people have their own counters into the Azir matchup. Sometimes you're seeing the Corki run through. Other times it'll be an assassin that can go and try and expose this early game weakness from the Azir while he doesn't have items. So that's going to be interesting to watch. The Maokai as well, I believe played earlier in the day, but this is just a very solid tank that's going to buy you a ton of time. And when we talked about Aphelios being able to hold down that backline on his own, provided he has enough time, yes, he can rip through a lot of these dive frontliners that you're starting to see come out from the side of Cornell. Final pick is going to be the Gnar, and those are going to be the 2 finalized team compositions here. My first impressions, I actually think this will be a really fun game to watch, because you can see both teams have good engage. Both teams have a very balanced lineup where they've got clear divers, they've got clear backliners. I just think this is going to be a really good game if you're one of those either mid laners or marksman roles where you can start to make your presence known. You could start to carry by dealing damage and eliminating threats.
Yeah, I mean, it's very clear what Yale are looking to do for a switch. They are simply looking to engage and making sure that this Aphelios is remaining unharmed, untouched in these fights, so that he can just completely blow and light people up in this front line. Of course, you'll have the Olaf is going to be running at you, can't get CC'd. So a great pickup coming through, at least for as far as looking to try and get in towards this backline. It's definitely going to be towards the Olaf to certainly try and find these affiliates in these fights. But I think you really hit the hammer on the head or hit the nail on the head for as far as what we were kind of talking about for as far as, the prep and coming in and things like this. Well, looking at this lineup, we talked about the Azir. If he can survive through the LeBlanc and not fall too far behind and kind of just go even, then they're in a great spot for at least being able to wave clear, because they have great wave clear to be able to offer, and the sieging that's going to come down likely from this Leona, from this Jarvan. They want to look to dive. They want to look to set things up. They want to pop things with LeBlanc. Well, they have great setup to be able to do that, but that can't easily be done if you're not building yourself a lead and if you're not getting that Aphelios online where he needs to be in order to deal all that damage that, of course, comes with his kit.
Yeah, the Aphelios is going to be great throughout the entire game, and it's going to be someone you start to rely on as you get closer and closer to that late game. Like you were mentioning, you hit the nail on the head, Visions, where you said Burst is definitely going to be a lot of the win condition for the side of Yale. Unfortunately, Burst doesn't age very well. Once you get towards some of those later parts,
True.
you get defensive items on the mid laners, on the marksmen, even the supports are able to get more HP to endure some of that early burst coming through in a team fight. So towards the late game, I actually think I would be opting for Cornell's composition here, assuming they can get there, with a relatively good amount of gold for themselves, because the Azir ages very well. Obviously, going to be one of those backline carries that can still make a play with something like the Shurima Shuffle. You're going to be having Gnar running into the mix. Gnar's a champion where, sure, he won't deal a lot of damage, but he's a threat that you always need to push back, and you always need to mind the positioning of. Varus as well, going to be running that, I believe, Runan's or Ginsu's Rage Blade. So he's going to be, ramping up in terms of damage as well. Lots of threats once you get there, but really it's just about how the early game is going to pan out for both of these teams.
You nailed it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the breakdown on the team compositions and the teams that we have going in towards the very first match here for winners round number 1, Yale versus Cornell. Big match, of course, for us. And if you are just tuning in, down below, you will find a donation link. Of course, this is all for aid for COVID-19, trying to help out the best we possibly can. So if you are able to support in any way possible, down below, you'll find that donate link. So make sure you guys head there now, and let's try and reach that goal of $20,000 that has now been upped. But we're going to throw it to a short little break, ladies and gentlemen. Get ourselves ready for in-game. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
I'm alone, I'm a broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go, I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you wanted adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired of the pain. Go away. I'm tired of yesterday.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to kick off the double elimination, starting with Yale up against Cornell. Of course, if you're just getting a chance to tune in towards the stream, well, we had a crazy group play that ended up breaking out for us. That resulted in Yale being 2-0 at the moment, Cornell 1-1. So we'll see if Yale can try and keep this flawless record going in towards round 2.
That's right. Just want to stay on the winner's bracket, hopefully, for both teams as they are fighting to, I suppose, be at the top of this mountain here. And hopefully, hopefully, it's just through great League of Legends, we'll get the support that, honestly, everyone, I believe, can rally behind. It's been a terrible time, but perhaps this game will be something exciting to look at as we all try and rally together here. As the level 1 here, we're going to see a small ward dropped by the Karma. Just trying to get a bit of vision and hopefully tracking Kai'So on the Jarvan. As, of course, like you mentioned, Visions, the Jarvan having a great game last time around. We know Jarvan as a pick that is just going to be able to bring engages consistently, whether it be skirmishes or whether it be team fights. That's a fantastic tool to have as long as it's still online.
Kind of just looking at all the players coming in, just the match while we were in the pregame lobby there, Switch. There's a couple of diamond players here. I think we have a couple of high diamonds, at least on the side of Cornell. I think highest player is Suffix here on the side of Yale. And when you kind of look at, a tournament like this where it's kind of pick up, you don't have a whole lot of time to prep and prepare. You kind of have to go big, but I'm going to hold that thought as we'll see some damage go through. But you kind of have to go, big in these moments here and almost have to kind of rely on more individual play than you do with actual team play at some point in time. So that's something to kind of watch for and to kind of remember as we'll go throughout this tournament. But off the bat, LeBlanc, obviously very early trading going on. That's a very nice Zenith play that lands on Navarus. Flash is forced out as they will drop the Ignite down. And, well, that is a fantastic start to trying to get your Aphelios online.
Yeah, really nice damage. Level 2 gained very early on from Yale. Going for another Zenith play. That one doesn't connect, but the damage, it's already been done down there in the bot lane. Into the mid now. Gang coming through, and that's Heppo gonna be taken down for first blood. Suffix able to secure that kill, and that's Yale striking first blood.
Oh, you'll love to see that right away if you're a Yale fan, because the Jarvan player here is getting work done. Chaos, just from that last game, finds himself so much KP, finds himself so many big plays, and, well, he does it again right off the bat towards that player that I highlighted that might be able to carry them through in towards that mid game, which is crucial because the Aphilio is going to take some time to get online. So that's a great start, and Jarvan is going to remain proactive just like he did, and that's exactly what you want for the jungler. But when you have an Olaf switch, Arby's, this man's going to have to try and find some success, and now he's got a little bit of extra pressure on his shoulders looking to create a play.
Yeah, junglers making eye contact as Arb is trying to secure the Scuttle Crab. The top rotating as well. And that's going to be Gnar helping out with this zone. Scuttle Crab is going to be going over to Arbez. Kai'So just trying to catch up here. I think you're really hitting on a great point here, Visions, where when you're coming into some of these one-day tournaments, when you don't exactly know who your opponents are at all times, it's really just better to focus on yourself. And right now, securing the Jarvan a second game in a row is just momentum in his favor, as Arvis is going to walk up, just trying to harass as much.
Oh man, this guy's got to heal up, but Chaos is actually low, has the flash, the followed up flash here. Marbez as he looks to go all in. The autos are out, but can he heal up against Suffix? He's waiting for cooldowns. He certainly can still look to pop him. He should just take the Q and W. Does not hit the train. The W might be on CD. It does not matter. Thought there could have been a chance. There is none. So that will overall just result into more summoners going through in a 1-for-1.
Yeah, 1-for-1. Both junglers taking down a peg, and a lot of rotation coming through as well. The mid lane is rotating, but also the bot lane wanting to join in on the fray. Ends up being a small skirmish, but you can just tell how much both of these schools are just going at each other's throats here. They want to be able to control the map more than the others, and they're believing that they can find the better engagements here.
Suffix is now 2-0. He's got a red buff on him. He's going to be able to heal up. Just take a bit of poke there, but he's just trying to, you know, add an additional presence. Whenever this is here, he's going to be now farming. He's low on mana. The roam is also going to be available, and Hippo can only go for so many more trades before he's completely and he's not going to be able to farm with his soldiers anymore. So this is actually a very rough spot. You can see him sitting on 16 CS. Not that Suffix is, you know, completely out of the ballpark here with a crazy amount, but he's starting to build up a lead, having 2 kills, a red buff, and as well as the counter matchup. Things are not looking good, as we'll see as Zenith Blade connect. Damage is going to go down, as we'll see the Karma land the root, flashes away, Ignite is in. Forest looking for that last auto attack. Duck not going to be able to find it, so another re-engages. Jarvan is going to entry down, and now it's going to be the bot lane of Cornell on the run once again. This time around, it looks like there will be no escape for Duck as he misses the piercing arrow, and it doesn't even matter because that will be another kill that drops down. This one will go over towards Gaosa.
There you go. 2v2 early on. Looking a bit sketchy for the side of Yale, as it was Gale tanking most of the damage, but when the jungler finally arrives to the party, it's going to be another kill going in favor of Yale here. Top lane as well, looking a bit sketchy as Words is trying to get the damage down.
That's a lot of damage that goes to a very nice twisted advance.
Yeah, that's so
I think
nice.
that literally saved his life. If he doesn't land that twisted advance, I'm pretty sure he dies there with the stun in towards the chain combo, but he might not be out just yet. Diving a Maokai, I think I've seen this story a couple times. Sometimes it goes the way of the team diving, sometimes it does not.
No.
We'll see if they'll actually even let him get the back off. So he's got a bit of health to work with. Does have his ultimate. So you have to be careful about this, but he's been low. He's going to use the ultimate. Can he trade out a kill? He cannot. He's not in tower range. So a good attempt from Mango Stalker, but he's going to be held from the jungler. Going to be a kill that goes over, but it will at least also be a dragon that is going to be traded out at least here, going over towards Yale.
Yeah, it was a very early dragon that you just assumed would go into the hands of Yale. So the side of Cornell say, okay, we're going to get something in return. They are very persistent in making that top lane dive work. And props to Words on the Gnar for getting the double top and also being out of tower range as well. So there's no revenge coming into that top lane. That's going to be the Gnar getting 1 assist. Arbez, though, getting the kill on the Olaf.
3-2 the scoreline, 7 minutes in. Very scrappy game thus far. Only about a 1,000 gold lead picks up for Yale at the moment. As another Zenith Blade will connect. The Zenith Blades have been on point. Aphelios walks forward, looking for the auto attack. Does actually return a good amount of damage. So Duck doing a good job of kiting that one out. Of course, the shields coming in from Karma, assisting with the movement speed. But this Leona, not scared to pull the trigger whatsoever, Switch. And I'm sure she'll do it here again very soon.
Yeah, it seems maybe the hesitation should be possibly coming out from Gale here, as he seems to be taking all of the damage when they actually get into those 2v2 skirmishes. This is going to be Karma walking up. There's the bind.
I think there's a dead Aphelios here. The autos are in. There it is. Duck with the snipe. Will there be a trade onto Karma? The last auto does connect. Leona
no
might even
way.
go for a 1v2. Leona is very strong in the early game, but look who's here. Suffix has the chain, and good night, Duck, as they will walk up, but we're going to see a TP entry in. The Solar Flare is perfect, but can he get the Mega Gnar off in time? Buying time for his jungler to come in. The healing is out. The auto is not. That will be the Ignite. Finishing off the top laner. Gnar is down. The trades are crazy. Leona has to walk through the tower, as it is everything but chaos down in the bot side. I don't even know how that ended up going for both these teams. I want to say like a 3-for-3 switch, but absolutely crazy plays happening on the map.
Insane. You know it's a good game of League of Legends when there's just a party that breaks out early on into the bot lane, and that certainly was some sort of fiesta down there. As it is going to be, I believe, the side of Cornell slightly coming out on top there, as they did get 3 kills for that one. That's going to be the Rift Herald as well, taken for the side of Yale. That's the response, and you can see great job from both teams They understand what's the strong part of the map for their opponents, and they get something in return.
Well, they're going to get something else in return.
Yeah.
Their oldest Zenith blade misses as all the other ones hit. The auto does come out. Not enough to find the execution and the kill. That is very tragic there. After all those Zenith blades that connected in the lane, the max range ones, that's the one that unfortunately misses. So it's just going to be 300 gold that you don't collect on, but this will be gold that Yale does collect on, as the Rift Herald will be summoned in towards the mid lane. That's going to get some solo plates actually over towards Suffix to extend his lead even further.
Exactly. Great job making sure Suffix gets a lot of income going for himself. The Rift Herald use on the mid lane is going to be that eventually at some point, if you bait your opponent into getting something like a dragon or like a Rift Herald, you gain mid priority, you take down that tower that only has 2 plates remaining. Now, deep in enemy lines is the side of Yale trying to make a pick onto the Olaf.
So goes in. That will be a beautiful Shurima shuffle as they're going to look to find the Jarvan, and they do. Duck collects kill number 2. Looking for another one as a nice solar flare does drop down. Leona on the run, but things certainly are not looking up at the moment as we'll see some damage popped. That's the way you want to use the blast kill, but maybe it was a bait as he looks to turn around, forces out the heal. Can't find the solo kill, so that's going to now result in the kill lead swinging the way of Cornell 7-6.
Cornell finally, after being down kills this entire game, might just find themselves ahead, but Suffix with the burst damage. Second proc of the chain is going to take the kill, and now Suffix trying to get out alive. One more dash, not going to be there. That's going to be Heppo to secure it 1 for 1. And like we were talking about, Cornell finally into the lead in this game.
As we see the back from Affilio's not going to be able to walk up to that wave. He's going to miss actually a pretty hefty wave. He might stay and go for it as he stops the back of the Varus. So just going to trade out back timers at the moment. Duck desperately needs to get one off, so he can spend some of this gold. But now we have a moment to breathe. Switch. The chaos is stopped for a very quick moment. Don't know how long that will be, but gives us at least a second to kind of break down the game. So last time we did see Yale on right before we took the break there, we did see them have fantastic objective control. They didn't drop a single objective in towards the early game. They didn't even drop a tower. They played absolutely fantastic. This time around, they've secured a Rift Herald. They secured themselves this first Mountain Dragon. We're going to have this dragon, of course, that's up at the moment, which will be an air dragon. We already see this setup. As much as I don't know a lot about this Yale squad at the moment, which their objective control is insane. Their teamwork has been good. However, this is not what's good, as I praise and caster curse them. It will be the Leona that is stepped up with no support from her. Don't think it's going to result in the objective going down. So they're going to be able to clear out the vision and find some extra gold.
Yeah, I was going to say, it certainly does help controlling objectives when your laners are as good as Yale has so far. Right now, we're seeing a bit of a slump, though, in the bot lane. 3 deaths in the hands of the Leona. It's going to be the dragon started from Cornell. Might be responded to by a steal. Jarvan into the pit.
Oh, the smite is going to be stolen away. Big plays from Gale's sides. They'll also make a play happen in the top lane. So that pick that went on towards Leona, well, doesn't result in anything except for gold in the pockets, but 100% objective control will hold strong for Yale, as we're going to see maybe an engage onto Leona. She just spawned, and well, she's now on the run. They look to track her down as the Undertows will be able to land that slow. That one will miss. That will be Affilio's landing quite a bit of damage, but not going to be able to follow that one up with anything. The objective control has been insane. The smites have been great, and that will now be 2 dragons in the pockets of Yale.
Yeah, some of Yale's success comes through the layers. Other times, it's just going to be the Jarvan coming in for a 6 steal. They went on both sides of the map as they were able to get a kill onto the Gnar in the top side. And that's just the side of Yale coming out on top when they should have been at a small deficit there. Now, you can see the side of Cornell. I mean, they were trying to get something in return. Arvez was in the area. No longer, however. And it's going to be up to Cornell to find another avenue of opportunity for themselves, as they are just about dead even in terms of gold. Slight advantage over to the side of Yale.
The outplay, Heppo looking for the solo kill, but maybe he's being baited in. Gale self forces out the flash. So Suffix now has a window where he can look to take advantage again. However, Heppo has been fighting back despite this LeBlanc having 5 kills under her belt switch.
I'm actually quite impressed, actually. LeBlanc with 5 kills. Got a lot of that turret plating as well. 3, I believe, in the mid lane. So that's just a lot of gold at the disposal of Suffix. You know he's going to cash in eventually, but right now the fact that mid lane CS actually going in favor of Heppo on the Azir, that speaks great magnitude for how good the mid lane is coming out from Cornell. Speaking of CS, we're seeing quite a deficit here in the bot lane, actually, where you're seeing Negative 40 CS coming in for Duck on the Varus here. It's been a lot of skirmishes going down there, but it seems like when it all comes down, it's the side of Yale on top.
Oh, good chain connects, followed by the Cataclysm. That was so fantastic, so clean. The jungle mid synergy somehow holding and shining here for us on the day, as they're going to be able to find a second kill on towards the Azir, and this is going to result in first tower gold being split here between both of these players once again.
Okay, ultimate down. There's the Sanders Blade.
The Solar Flare is so well prepped, but this could cost the Aphelios' life, and it does. This will be a good response from Cornell, as this might result in a double. Undertow lands, and well, you got to assume this will be another kill going over. Almost getting a little bit close, but will be at least another one that will be secured. Top lane, Mango, Stalker, almost finding a solo kill, but he has to be worried about the Mega Gnar that's about to pop. Suffix goes in, Suffix does not find the kill, and now he might just die to the Olaf once again. 6-2, shutdown is secured. Chaos in the bot lane, well, what else is new?
This game is just a seesaw right now, going in one team's favor, going in the other team's favor, as now it's going to be the side of Cornell striking back just off sheer playmaking alone. I really like the game coming down to the bot side. You saw Arbez go with the flash to chase after Suffix, the 5 into LeBlanc, now made 5 and 3. And all the meanwhile, you've got a bit of intimate time with the tower and Heppo on the Azir, doing great stuff here, and both teams trying to bring as much pressure as possible into this game.
And you really mentioned it before, Switch, when you talked about, you know, the gold lead here being pretty much close all the way up towards this point. We still only find it 600 gold difference, about 500 now. And that has been in favor of Yale the entire time. So they have held on towards the gold lead. But the big thing is obviously the objectives. You got to keep coming back towards this, because we have an Infernal Dragon coming up in 1 minute and 7 seconds. And of course, you know, there will just be Infernals from here on out. I'm going to have to hold that thought again as we'll see another engage. That's a beautiful shuffle. Suffix goes in, but Suffix might go down. Does manage to live, and now the re-engage comes through as a TP drops from Mango. Looking for Arbez as he's very low. Does not have the ultimate just yet, but it's up very soon. That will be a LeBlanc going back in, and LeBlanc pops one. Will LeBlanc pop two? Eppo at least finds one for his troubles, but still at the end of the day, cost him his life. So a 1 for 2 into the mid lane goes the way of Yale, and now they might just look for the Rift Herald.
Yeah, they didn't start off the fight, but they respond to it very well. That's going to be the top lane tower going down. Unfortunately, no revenge to be had for the top jungle duo of Yale, but still, they are on fire. And I got to call back to what you were just mentioning here. The objectives. This is going to be Kai'Sa on the Jarvan, securing himself the Rift Herald here. He's already gotten one. It's 100% objective control currently for the side of Yale, but Dragon is finally going to spawn on the opposite side of the map here. We'll see if this is going to be the play made by Cornell here. They're applying a lot of pressure down. Yale just scattering to try and get some of that last-minute vision down, because they know they're going to be at a man disadvantage here very soon.
Yeah, and listen, if you're Cornell, you got to grab this Dragon right now. You just saw the Rift Herald go down. The Jarvan has been on the map for a lot of time, so you have to know that the tempo is certainly not in the favor of Yale at the moment, and we are going to see them at least move in and start to slowly clear out some of this vision, but will it be too late before Jarvan is back? And reminder, Kai'Sa stole the Dragon last time around. I don't think he's going to get towards the pit fast enough to look for a steal this time. Suffix going to look for some poke. Going to be able to land a good chunk on towards Hippo, but it won't matter as the Jarvan can't get to the pit in time. So finally, the first objective will go over towards side of Cornell as they grab themselves the Infernal Dragon.
And just great job from Cornell. They realize that top side is strong for Yale, so they go ahead, try and make a Dragon happen in the bot side. They do get their mid laner chunked very hard. Suffix on the LeBlanc applying a lot of pressure, and this is a big collapse coming through for Yale. Not going to find a picky yet, but onto the tower they go, and this is going to be an easy one to clean up.
2 towers, gold lead finally extending a little bit for us, just to about 2,000. Suffix is going to be a-okay at the moment, but engage coming out. Very nice flag and drag as Kai'Sa sets up the engage, and now we're going to see the ultimate that will be throwing 2 members back as he shuffles away and gets himself out. But is it really out? Suffix says no, as he will actually dodge the chains, but everybody else is right behind him as Aphelios collects kill number 2. They take down the Karma, so Cornell going to lose 2 in the jungle after taking the Dragon, and now second Rift Herald will be summoned looking for the tier 2 in the mid lane.
Yeah, Yale This squad was not happy about losing the 100% objective control for themselves. The group bot, they find a pick into a team fight, actually. This is going to be Suffix option for the 1v1. Just trying to kite out Arbes as the rest of his team takes the mid lane tower.
And Suffix is just kind of toying with his food at the moment. He's like, hey, you want to chase me? I'm LeBlanc, by the way. This doesn't work very well for you, and now you catch yourself out on the wrong side of the map. On top of that, I'm now going to snare you up as 3 of my members look to run you down. Actually make that 4, as there is no way Arbes ever makes it out of this one. Has a tower. Might find a kill. The flash is forced down. Auto from the red buff perhaps might have gotten the kill, as that was something that should not have happened, but did. And now this is actually going to be the side of Cornell responding with a re-engage of their own. Watch for the Shurima shuffle as it is up and available, but that will be the twisted advance on towards 1, followed by the solar flare into the Zenith blade. Dust's like, can I even move? No, you cannot. You are taken down. That will be a 1-for-1. Make
no damage.
That a possible 2, as this will be Mango Stalker falling. Will be given over towards Heppo for a 3-4-2. The chase has been crazy. Well, the chase is still not even gone.
No way.
Comes back in and he says hello.
This game, all right, that was an even trade. 2 for 2. Thought it was going to go in favor of Cornell, but Suffix to get a kill on the backside of that. Great job from Kuga on the Leona, just setting up plays time and time again. And certainly has been benefiting the side of Yale. This time around, their tower does go down finally in return. That's going to be the 2nd tower of the game compared to the 5th for the side of Yale here. Oh no, Suffix trying to make another pick happen.
Every time I see this LeBlanc distortion in, I kind of just get on the edge of my seat real quick here about, you know, what's going to happen next. She's got a death cap, a Luden's Echo 21 minutes in towards the game. I would not want to be playing any kind of a squishy in this game right now. When you have a 7-4 LeBlanc with 2 items and a death cap being the 2nd item at 21 minutes, man, I am literally shaking in my boots for these players at the moment. But we'll see exactly how they're going to be able to handle that. Perhaps maybe with the locket that might be picked up, but they do have the shielding, at least from the Karma for the time being, to prevent some of this burst damage from going through. And now the team's starting to group up a little bit more in towards the jungle. It should be fine. Shouldn't have a worry, as they'll be able to move in, at least drop some vision down. But it's all about the Baron now. It's been live for the last minute 30, and we're going to see all of these players shift in transition towards the top side of the map and start just letting the other team know that they are around and they're setting up vision and trying to contest it.
Yeah, both teams getting a bit antsy. This might be an engage coming here. Suffix gets a lot of damage down. There's the twisted advance. It's not going to be a catch just yet.
Nature's Grasp now on cooldown, as it seems to just be an ARAM for the time being.
Oh boy, and let me tell you, Cornell's not winning this ARAM.
Doesn't look like it.
Doesn't count if you're not in the mid lane anymore.
True, they're going outside of the map here. Switch, what are they doing here? This illegal move, can't do that.
Get the rough here. Yeah.
But they're just going to regroup. They're not going to be taken down, but you can certainly see them struggling for map control as the tower is up. Suffix, oh man.
That was 1 Q?
That was 1 Q, Switch. I'm terrified right now.
I find it so funny. We were like, where's the LeBlanc? She's got 5 kills. She's not really having a big impact yet. And then Suffix then begins to start tearing through the side of Cornell. Now with all this control that the LeBlanc mainly is gaining you, look at the control right now for Dragon right now. Yale, there's not an enemy member in sight for themselves, so they feel very comfortable taking this 3rd Infernal.
Now we'll see them group up at the time being, looking for some of this mid pressure. They're going to shove this wave out. They don't have to worry about the mid lane tower on the side of Yale. So this is going to pull the shove out as they'll grab the next wave, but that might just be in time for that Dragon to go through. Are almost looking like they want to trade for the Baron, but they just do not have a tank that's going to be able to absorb that and then look to turn and fight. As Suffix actually does get poked out pretty hard. That's actually very important because he might not be able to have that opportunity to move on in and look for that poke. So this is big, and this is now going to give them a little bit of control as they're going to now deny vision from Yale on the top side.
Oh, Cornell, no. They jumped out Suffix, someone a big playmaker for the side of Yale, and now they feel comfortable starting this Baron down to around 2/3 HP already, but this is going to be the pull-off.
Nature's Grasp used just to make sure they get off the Baron, so Not too much of an investment to make sure that there isn't any kind of a fight that you don't want to have. However, this is now going to be loss of pressure going over towards the side of Cornell, and it almost feels like they've been playing kind of catch up this entire games, which they are even within the kills, but it's the objectives. It's the things we highlighted very early on in towards the stream about how they have such great control. They have 5 towers, they have 3 dragons, they're 1 away from securing themselves that Infernal Soul, which is ever so devastating when you're able to grab that. They also find themselves with a 3,000 gold lead, the biggest one we've seen thus far in towards the game, and they find themselves in a fantastic spot.
Yeah, 3,000, the biggest that we've seen, because this game has been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. No team really extending past the other too much. It's going to be red buff secured by Suffix, as he's just trying to take as much in sight. As a whole, right now, you're absolutely right. Yale in the driver's seat. The problem is right now, because of how great their objective control was, they have more gold in their pockets due to some of those towers and some of those Rift Herald takes in the early game. They have more damage when it comes to team fighting because they have a mountain and a cloud advantage for themselves. And finally, now it's going to be Cornell trying to find their way to find a beneficial team fight, but they're losing ground constantly. Top lane tower now going to be the defense here, as Yale just trying to find another opening. It might be in the mid as well, as Inhibitor going to get poked by Suffix.
And he should just be able to distortion away. This is such a great moment at this time being for the side of Yale. Suffix does get poked out, but again, he's able to get himself away. So now they have pressure from the bot lane because Gnar isn't able to 1v1 Mango Stalker. And we have Suffix who's pushing for this inhibitor that is exposed because there was no tower there to defend it. They have pressure in the top lane. Yale is playing the map so fantastically at the moment to switch in. There's almost going to be a point in time where you decide to pull the trigger. That might be in the side there right now as Mango Stalker takes a little bit too much damage. That will be a nice twisted advance, but look who is here. The Shurima Shuffle used just to make sure they secure the kill. Of course, Heppo is going to be able to grab that. Kill number 5 secured, but can Yale make a play on the opposite side of the map?
That's the big question here. And for Cornell, they get the one-man advantage. And they probably feel a lot more comfortable now holding this mid inhibitor with more members. It's a bit of a reprieve for themselves. But it is going to be the side of Mango Stalker coming back up in 20 seconds. Teleport available. You can see the side of Yale, rather, trying to secure a lot of control here around this Baron.
And it's just going to take one big fight. You know what's going to happen. It's building up. The anticipation is there. And it's almost going to feel like whoever gets that first engage off. Well, the big problem with that is that Yale has so much engage to offer. And the only real great engage that you have is sending Heppo in, you know, with the Emperor's Divide. But that's not exactly reliable, as he's going to be one of your main damage sources DPSing through the entire fight. So then that kind of falls on the shoulders of Gnar. Well, you have to play around the Gnar bar. You have to make sure that you're in a position where you can actually get the Mega Gnar ult off without the team almost kind of realizing that. But he's been on the side lane, just constantly trying to deal with Mango Stalker, who still has his teleport as well. So that's almost what we'll be waiting for, to see if the side of Cornell decide to pull the trigger and set up a fight with a TP when the Mega Gnar is available. That almost seems like their best option, because if they keep allowing this Leona to engage on them, or this Jarvan to follow up engage on them, it's going to be so difficult for you to get out alive and look for an actual fight that you want to take, and that's kind of more in your favor.
Difficult, certainly, but still a chance. And the side of Cornell, they've got to make something happen very soon. There's the Emperor Divide actually blown. 50 seconds until the 4th dragon, and that's going to be the Nature's Grasp actually catching on to Heppo.
Flashes out. We could see the Cataclysm, but Chaos decides to hold back and does not go all in. That's a lot of damage that drops down on the Gnar. The Ignite is ticking, but it looks like he might be A-OK. Heppo now has some chance to look to deal a lot of damage, as that will be Mango caught under the tower with a very nice ultimate from Forest. So they lose the top lane. Suffix goes back in, but can't find the kill. They're now on the chase, but he can still look to turn things around. He goes back in, but the shield is on point from Karma, as Suffix has to flash away. He will just barely get out of the range from the undertow, but Heppo's still trying to chase him down. Piercing arrow goes wide, so it will be Yale losing the top laner, but they are going to be able to stop them from going towards the Baron. That's the biggest thing. Switch is not able to grab anything off this for the time being, and Suffix goes back in again as he's just playing and dancing with fire.
And he's really the one stopping the side of Cornell from going for some of these objectives, like the dragon on the table. His chunks have made Cornell so insecure about opting for some of these big objectives. Now the team fight might just about commence. Teleport coming in from the very backside of that blue.
Oh, they're looking for it. Cornell look to take the fight. A big solar flare in the back as they might have found Epo, but the Emperor's Divide will knock one back into 1-for-1 in the fight. That will be big damage from LeBlanc as they are now going to find 2 on the side of Cornell. Epo might go down, but no, he stays alive. Finally, the flash is there. That will be a 4-for-2. Yale should be able to clean ace this fight as Gyosa goes in, lands the knockup, and it's all up to the Gnar to try and stall in buy time. But there's only so much time he has left as the ace is secured from Mango Stalker, and now Yale are completely in control of this game.
Just great, immaculate collapse coming through at that possibly last team fight. This is going to net them the inhibitor and the bot tier 2 tower off of that one. Just great play from Yale. The collapse coming in from Mango Stalker on the Maokai. Suffix as well, constantly weaving in damage here and there, starting from 30 seconds before the team fight until some of the final finishing touches on some of those big members. Heppo in particular on the Azir, he's doing his best to carry the game from the backline, but right now, just too many members falling for the side of Cornell. They're gonna get another chance to play through this game, but at an Infernal Drake Soul deficit, it's gonna be just about as hard as they come.
30 minutes in towards the game. Biggest goal lead we have seen. Infernal Soul Dragon online for Yale. And now we're going to start dancing around the big purple worm in the top side of the map. This is almost do or die. You don't have flash on your jungler to even look for some kind of a steal. So things looking a little bit desperate, but they're still at least able to hold on. Nature's Grasp is going to be invested in the mid lane, but there's not really going to be anything that follows. So that's going to be a cooldown that Yale no longer have the chance of using any further, at least for the next minute or two. However, the pressure is still all around the top side. I'm just waiting for someone to pull the trigger. There it is, trigger pulled as they're looking for Mango Stalker, but is that the right target? Apparently, yes, as they shut him down and take him out. Olaf on the back line looking to solo out the Aphelios. Can he heal and take him down? 1-for-1 so far. Aphelios stays alive. Gyosa with a big flag and drag, but it will cost him his life. Goes in, will be Suffix now. A 2-for-2, 3v3 will remain. Low health bars on the side of Cornell, but they will be able to walk this one out and live to see another day.
And that was just a great repel with the Azir wall coming out from Heppo to get a 1-for-2 trade off the back of that fight. Now this is the side of Cornell feeling a bit more confident. Tons of damage being pumped out from Heppo. He's really doing a great job keeping his team into the game until Duck can scale further into it. Right now, Duck sitting on a decent amount of damage, 2.5 items. The only problem is not much magic resist to speak of when you talk about the backline members of Cornell, and this is part of the reason why they had to play so immaculately well to dodge out on some of Suffix's damage that he's trying to find here and there.
The best thing about Cornell, though, is they are doing a great job of fighting back, and Arbez really, kind of almost saved that fight where he just drew all of the pressure and brought all of these members back to make sure they were able to try and peel and damage him down as much as they could so that he couldn't find the kill on towards the Aphelios. He didn't end up doing it, but he did blow the heal at the very least. And again, it's just that added pressure, and this ultimate, the Ragnarok, is just showing to be such a valuable, important utility on the side of Cornell. But the Baron has been started up for the first time. 32 minutes in the game. Suffix is zoning everybody away. Arbez does not have the flash. He cannot get close to the pit, so this will be the call off. They are just going to let the Baron go over. No steal, no attempt made. There is the Zakir from Geo says. He's been on point with the smites, and now Yale are going to extend this goal lead even further, and now they have the Baron buff.
This is an objective that Yale have really earned for themselves. They took the mid inhibitor. They've secured the Infernal Drake Soul as well. That means that there's really no chance that Cornell are going to feel comfortable just opting for any old 5v5, and that gives the side of Yale enough time to play around with the pressure, let the super minions pile into the mid lane, and finally pull the trigger on a Baron that is not possible for Arbis to smite. So great job from themselves. They've got the purple buff in their hands, and now they're going to be going for a bit of a split here, as you can see. Right now, my eyes are just on Suffix and how he's going to start playing around some of this pressure, because you're going to see Cornell being pulled apart from the mid lane to the bot lane, possibly even to the top lane.
Things very intense at the moment. They're going to use the Azir passive in the mid lane just to give them a little bit of additional help when these waves are shoving in. Of course, they are Baron empowered minions. Going to be very difficult to clear from here on out. Hippo has a death cap
Jeez,
now.
man.
He's 3 items strong, so he can definitely deal some damage himself, as he's going to bring Aphelios down to about half. I need to see the Meganar in those switch. That's what they need to be able to do. If they can get this Meganar stacked up, well, maybe the Meganar doesn't matter anymore.
New plan. Please just try and hang on as long as possible. I don't know if Yale's gonna really be giving you the time for this one, though. Mid inhibitor, once again, not existing right now. Bot lane tower being sieged upon in Suffix. Like you said, playing with his food. That's gonna be the kill, and that's gonna be the base opening as well.
You need Heppo to go absolutely massive right here, right now. They're going to use the flash engage. That will be throwing the Maokai under the tower in the back. Big plays onto the fountain. That's going to at least make things a little bit more even, as it's now a 3v4. That will be another engage going, and Arbez has to walk himself out, but he almost wants to press forward. Suffix has so much damage in his kit. This Infernal Soul Dragon is just giving him so much additional burst. He has 17 stacks on his Magi's.
Yep.
He is just ready to pop anybody that is going to miss position. And well, on top of it all, the Elder Dragon now going to be started up, and it looks like nobody is going to have a chance at stealing it.
Again, another objective just about straight up earned from the side of Yale. Their play has been so aggressive, so clutch as well. That one doesn't take out the karma, but it's even really necessary right now. Summoner's Rift, the oyster of Yale, as they have both the Baron and the Elder Drake at their disposal. Baron should be wearing off very soon. I believe another 5 seconds or so. But right now, with the Elder Drake soul by them, I mean, you're not going to be able to walk up for team fights. The only problem is, unless Cornell find a winning team fight, they are just going to straight up lose the game. They're going to be drowning in super minions while their top lane tower gets sieged upon. So, I mean, we've been seeing clutch play after clutch play coming out from Heppo. The wall into the fountain, the latest one from Your Majesty. But this time around, he's going to have to come out with the biggest of them all to keep the side of Cornell in this game.
I love the fact that Yale is sticking to the fundamentals. They're not looking just to run it down mid and end the game out. They're looking to play the macro of League of Legends. They go to the top lane because they have inhibitors down in both of these lanes, netting them so much empowered minion control from the super damages. Oh, that was a Q and an R. They are looking to take some people down. Suffix is lurking on the side lane, lurking time and time again. They have to be so wary from this man, as they're still staying alive. But with the Elder Dragon active, the Infernal Soul Dragon active, you got to think that they are just on a timer at this point.
Man, if you're Duck on the Varus right now, I think the only safe place is the fountain. Maybe not even that much, but right now they've got to form in the soul here. They're engaged.
They're looking forward always. Heppo will be able to survive just barely, but Aphelios takes down the first one. Duck has to flash away, but the Dragon will rain down on a second. 2 down for Cornell, as there's only 3 of them remaining. Flashing in, the Aphelios looks to go big. They're cleaning up house, and well, they might just give them the pentakill, as it will drop down, finishing it off in fashion with the penta, with the game. That will be it for Cornell in the winner's bracket. They will now drop down to the losers, and Yale will advance and remain undefeated in the tournament.
Yale Esports, man. That game, by no means a smash, but boy, was it catastrophic for the side of Cornell by the end of that game. A pentakill given over as well. It's small leads given over to Yale in the very start of the game. A Dragon here, a Rift Herald there, and they just run away with it by the end of the game. They choke the life out of Cornell, and they're able to advance here into the semifinals of this winner's bracket.
Switch. Yale's looking good. You know, they are looking great. Their objective control seems to be on point. Gale still looks so good on the Jarvan. I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to keep up this consistency throughout multiple different champions, as, you know, he's only played the Jarvan in the last couple games at the very least, but he has looked solid. The team looks to be on the same page. There was maybe a little bit of A-ramming that happened in the middle of that game where things were completely chaotic, but they were able to slow things down, bring themselves back to being in the moment, and, you know, understanding the correct things that they have to do in order to be successful on the map and play the macro perfectly. Well, that's exactly what they did. So props towards Yale as they will advance towards winners round 2. So big plays from them as we'll take a look at the bracket, of course, and we'll see all the other matchups that we're going to have lined up for you coming very, very soon. And well, at the moment, you're going to see, I believe we're seeing bracket on screen. I know I'm not seeing bracket at the moment, but of course, you're going to see all of those. You're going to see all the different teams, of course, lined up within the winners round 1. We're now going to have Cornell dropping down towards losers round 1. But I think there's some big notable team switches. There's a couple more teams that are currently 2-0 as well.
Yeah, so first of all, on the semifinals part of the bracket right now, you're looking at Stanford versus Yale. Going to be the semifinals matchup. Yale, they came out with another great game here. By no means was it a wash, but it was still a great performance coming out of Yale. I think right now they look like they don't have any weak spots on their roster, and this is going to be something to keep track of as they move forward into the playoffs. Other side of the winners semifinal matchup is going to be Brown versus UPenn as well.